Welcome to a world unveiled, where dreams weave into stories under the night's canopy. As Decitos, find your sanctuary and breathe deeply, yet ending the days let ghosts fade. Close your eyes, embrace tranquility, and let my voice guide you through mystical lands. Here, stories glow like stars, each tale a path to unknown wonders. As you drift on the breath of imagination, let go of the waking world. Let these narratives cradle you into a peaceful slumber, where adventures await in the realm of dreams. Now, relax, listen, and let the journey unfold. Good night, and let the magic begin. A journey through Candytopia. Chapter 1. The Confectionery Gateway. In the quaint village of Green Meadows, nestled at the edge of the mundane world, a peculiar event unfolded. The day began like any other, with the sun casting its warm glow over the lush fields. However, as the afternoon approached, the sky began to swirl with an unusual mix of colors, painting the horizon in hues of pink, orange, and a soft, inviting purple. In the heart of village lived a young, curious, known for her adventurous spirit and exquisite baking skills. Wakewazara was in pursuit of rare ingredients to create her unique pastries. As she witnessed the bizarre weather phenomena, her instincts told her this was no ordinary storm. Drawn by the mesmerizing colors and the faint scent of vanilla in the air, closed her bakery early and followed the trail of the sweet gale. The wind seemed to guide her, whispering secrets and stories of a land where the rivers were chocolate and the mountains made of sweets. The closer she got, the stronger the fragrance became, a blend of every delightful scent she had ever encountered in her baking adventures. As the wind swirled around her, Lara realized she was no longer walking on the grassy paths of Green Meadows. It was now stepping on clouds of cotton candy. The sky around her danced with sugary sparkles, and the sun seemed to shine brighter, casting a golden hue over everything it touched. In the distance, Alara spotted what appeared to be a gateway, crafted from swarming peppermint sticks and adorned with drops of what seemed like liquid sugar glistening under the sun. The gate stood tall, marking the entrance to a world unknown, a world that seemed to exhaust, awing the dreams of those at the sweetest of imaginations. With a heart full of courage and a mind swirling with curiosity, Alara approached the gate. As she placed her hand on the peppermint swirl, the gate gently opened, releasing a burst of warm, sweet ale that enveloped her, inviting her into the realms of Candytopia. Behind her, the familiar fields of Green Meadows faded away, replaced by a vibrant landscape that stretched beyond the horizon, a spectacle of colors, scents, and flavors waiting to be explored. And so, with a deep breath and a leap of faith, Alara stepped through the confectionery gateway, embarking on an adventure that promised to be as enchanting as it was mysterious. As Alara stepped through the confectionery gateway, the ground beneath her feet seemed to soften, turning into a fluffy marshmallow path that cushioned her every step. The sky above her was a canvas of pastel colors, with clouds that resembled heaps of cotton candy lazily drifting by. A gentle breeze carried the mixed aromas of fresh pastries, ripe fruits dipped in chocolate, and warm, spiced candies. Aya marveled at the sight, her eyes wide with wonder. She had entered a world where the mundane laws of nature did not apply, a place where imagination and reality were intertwined in the most delightful way. It was as if she had become a character in a storybook, a tale of magical lands and sugary adventures. The path before spiraled upwards, leading to a cluster of sugar clouds that flirted like islands in sky. Curiosity fueling her steps, Alara followed the path, her senses tingling with every new scent and sight. The marshmallow ground beneath her transformed, becoming a staircase made of nougat, each step releasing a soft, nutty fragrance. As she ascended, the landscape of Candytopia unfolded below her. She saw fields of candy floss, rivers flowing with the richest chocolate, and mountains that sparkled with crystalline sugar. Orchards bore fruits of every imaginable kind, their skins cased with a sugary sheen, and the air was alive with the gentle hum of bees, collecting nectar from blossoms of licorice and mint. Reaching the top of the staircase, Alara found herself on a cloud made of the softest cotton candy. It felt stable yet incredibly soft, standing on a bed of sweetly scented clouds. Before her was a bridge, arched and woven from strands of red licorice, leading to another cloud island. With each step she took on the licorice bridge, soft music filled the air, notes that seemed to be crafted from the sweetest melodies of her childhood. And music was comforting and inviting, urging her to explore further, to discover the wonders that lay hidden in this edible paradise. As Alara reached the end of the bridge, she paused, taking a moment to look back at the path she had traveled. The confectionery gateway stood in the distance, a reminder of the world she had left behind, now seemingly part of another lifetime. Ahead of her, Candytopia awaited, its mysteries and delights beckoning her to delve deeper into its heart. With a mixture of excitement and anticipation, Alara stepped off the bridge, her journey through the sugar clouds continuing, each step taking her further into the sweet embrace of this ancient and Yaha's journey through the sugar clouds brought her to a vantage point that offered a panoramic view of Candytopia. The vista was breathtaking, a tapestry of vibrant colors and textures that seemed to stretch into infinity. Below him, the landscape was a mosaic of confectionery wonders, the lakes shimmering with the iridescent sheen of liquid caramel, fields dotted with cupcakes, and microwave blooming like flowers, and flower. As she gazed upon this spectacle, the sun began its descent, casting a golden light that transformed Utopia into a realm of shimmering gold and shadow. The chocolate rivers glinted in the waning light, their banks lined with sugar-dusted reeds swaying gently in the breeze. The mountains in the distance, with their peaks of whipped cream and slopes of finely aerated coconut, glowed softly. Their outlines gently glared by the midst of powdered sugar. In the sky, the clouds had begun to change color, turning from soft pastel hues to deeper shades of purple and pink. They hung low, almost within reach, like fluffy islands adrift in a sea of twilight. Myra felt a sense of peace wash over her, a tranquility that seemed to permeate every corner of this sweet paradise. The air was filled with the sounds of Edina, the soft rustle of the candy grass, the distant murmur of the charter rivers, and the gentle hum of the sugar bees returning to their hives. It was a melody that spoke of the end of day, a lullaby that seemed to embrace the whole of Candytopia. As the last light of the sun disappeared below the horizon, the stars began to appear, twinkling in the sky like sprinkles scattered across cosmic cake. They cast a soft light on the landscape, illuminating the contours of Candytopia in a gentle, ethereal glow. Myra took a deep breath, filling her lungs with the sweet, fragrant air. She felt a profound connection to this land, a sense of belonging that she had never experienced before. Here in the heart of Candytopia, the worries of the mundane world seemed distant and insignificant. She was part of something larger, the story woven from the fabric of dreams and imagination. With a heart full of wonder and eyes shining with the reflection of the starlit sky, Myra continued her journey. The path ahead was illuminated by the soft light of the stars, leading her deeper into the heart of Candytopia, where more wonders awaited her discovery. As the starlight bathed in Candytopia in a gentle luminescence, the lighter's path led her to a clearing surrounded by bushes with berry-flavored gummy leaves. The air was thick with the scent of mixed berries and the sweet, tangy aroma of citrus. In the center of the clearing stood a group of figures, their bodies shimmering softly under the starry sky. The figures stepped forward, revealing themselves as the gumdrops, the guardians of the gummy groves. Their appearance was enchanting with translucent skin in shades of ruby, sapphire, emerald, and amber. Through which one could see their sugary hearts pulsating gently. Their eyes sparkled with a friendly light, and their voices, when they spoke, were as melodious as a symphony of wind chimes. "Welcome, traveler, to the groves of Candytopia," said the one with the ruby hue, who introduced herself as Robina. "We are the gumdrops, keepers of the harmony between the sweet and the sour, the guardians of the gummy woods." Myra was awestruck, not only by their ethereal beauty, but also by the warmth and kindness that emanated from them. She introduced herself, explaining how she had arrived in Candytopia and expressing her gratitude for the welcoming presence. The gumdrops listened intently, nodding and smiling. "Every arrival in Candytopia is foretold by the sugar stars," said Asura. "The sapphire, hey gumdrop, Your presence here is no coincidence, Alara. It is the beginning of a journey that is both sweet and significant. They invited Alara to join them for a feast, a celebration of her arrival. Tables laden with every imaginable confection appeared, as if by magic, offering a feast for the senses. There were cakes that sang soft melodies, cookies that painted pictures in the air with their aroma, and fruits dipped in a chocolate so rich that it whispered tales of distant lands. As they feasted, the gumdrops shared tales of Candytopia's history and lore. They spoke of the sugar spell that protected the land, the chocolate chasm where the rivers converged, and the marshmallow monoliths, ancient structures that behold the secrets of the candy cosmos. And they passed in a blur of laughter, stories, and the shared joy of newfound friendship. And Laura felt an overwhelming sense of belonging, as if she had been part of Candytopia all along. The gumdrops, with their gentle wisdom, the heartfelt hospitality, had welcomed her not as a stranger, but as a member of the magical community. As the first light of dawn began to break, painting the sky in hues of apricot and lavender, the gumdrops offered Alara guidance for her journey ahead. The path of Candytopia is ever sweet, but not without its twists and turns, said Rubina, her eyes glinting with a profound knowledge. Remember, Lara, that in this land, the most important ingredient is always the heart. With hearts full of gratitude and the bonds of friendship newly formed, Lara prepared to continue her journey to wisdom and Candytopia. Her spirit amid budding cuts and her path and luminous touch shuddered. As the dawn cast its burst light upon Candytopia, a landscape transformed once again. Foliage along paths and passages that were not visible on the cloak lot. The gumdrops, with their innate understanding of the land, offered to guide Alara through the intricacies of the sugar paths, a network of trails that connected the various realms of Candytopia. Rubina led the way, her ruby light leaving a soft glow on the path ahead. The sugar paths were along, she explained. They sense the intentions, then the heart of those who walk them. Stay true to your spirit, and the paths will guide you well. The trails were unlike anything Alara had ever seen. They were woven from strands of sugar, sparkling under the sun, and humming with a melody that resonated with the harmony of Candytopia. As they journeyed, the gumdrops imparted their knowledge of the sugar paths to Alara. Each path has its own flavor, its own story, said Azora, her sapphire glue illuminating the trail. The paths are not just routes through Candytopia. They are threads in the tapestry of this land's history and culture. I taught her how to sense the subtle shifts in the paths, how to choose the trail that would lead her to her desired destination. They showed her how to listen to the whispers of the paths, messages carried by the breezes that swept through the sugar strands. Ara was a quick learner, her connection to Candytopia growing stronger with every step. She felt the paths responding to her presence, guiding her gently and revealing secrets that were hidden from unattentive eyes. The land itself seemed to recognize her, welcoming her as a friend and ally. The journey through the sugar path was a journey of discovery, not just of Candytopia's landscapes, but also of the depth of Bella Lounge's own spirit. She realized that her love for baking, her pursuit of rare ingredients, had always been about more than just creating pastries. It was about creating connections, crafting experiences, and bringing joy to others. Candytopia, with its endless possibilities, its embrace of creativity, felt like the embodiment of everything she had ever aspired to. As the day progressed, the paths led Alara and again drops to the edge of a magnificent vista. They had arrived at the twilight of Toffee, a region where the setting sun bathed the land in a golden caramel light, casting long, sweet shadows highlighting the contours of Candytopia in a muon. It was here that the gumdrops paused, their mission of guidance coming to an end. The sugar paths have brought you to the threshold of the twilight of Toffee. What? Said Rubina, her voice tinged with a hint of reverence. This is where our paths diverge, but remember that the wisdom of the gumdrops will always be with you. With heart farewells and promises to meet again, the gumdrops left Alara at the cusp of her next adventure. Standing at the edge of the twilight of Toffee, Alara felt a surge of gratitude for the guidance and friendship of the gumdrops, and a thrilling anticipation for the wonders that awaited her on a journey through Candytopia. As Alara stood at the threshold of the twilight of Toffee, the landscape before her seemed to pulse with a life of its own. The setting sun dipped the world in a rich, golden light, illuminating the Toffee terrains that stretched out in front of her. The ground was a tapestry of caramel swirls with butterscotch blooms, the nuggets of Toffee embedded like precious stones. Taking a deep breath, Alara stepped forward, her feet sinking slightly into the soft, dewy ground. The air was thick with the scent of molten sugar, and the gentle rustling of the toffee leaves created a melody that was both soothing and invigorating. This part of Candytopia was quieter, the atmosphere more contemplative, as if the land itself was savoring the sweet tranquility of the evening. As she ventured further, Alara noticed the toffee trees swaying gently, their branches heavy with crystallized sugar droplets that glinted in the fading light. Beneath the trees, pools of liquid toffee reflected the sky, their surfaces smooth and undisturbed. It was a scene of serene beauty, a place where time seemed to slow down, inviting her to pause and reflect. It was here in the heart of the twilight of Toffee that Alara felt a deep connection to the essence of Candytopia. She realized that this land was not just an assortment of sweet delights. It was a manifestation of creativity, a celebration of the senses, and a testament to the joy of undiscovered. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the sky turned a deep shade of purple, and the first stars began to twinkle in the night sky. The toffee landscape took on a mystical quality, the soft light from the stars and the moon casting gentle shadows and bathing everything in a gentle, ethereal glow. And I found a spot beneath a toffee tree and sat down, letting the tranquility of the twilight of Toffee wash over her. She thought of her journey so far, the wonder she had witnessed, and the friendship she had formed. She felt a profound sense of gratitude for the experiences she had been granted and a burning curiosity for the adventures that still lay ahead. As she sat there, lost in her thoughts, a gentle voice broke the silence. "The journey of the heart is the sweetest journey of all," it said. Lara looked up to see a figure approaching her, a being made entirely of shimmering light, with a presence that was both comforting and awe-inspiring. "You have traveled the sugar pass with an open heart, Alara," the figure continued, his voice resonating with warmth and wisdom. "While doing so, you have discovered not just the beauty of Candytopia, but the depth of your own spirit. Remember, the essence of this land is not just in its sweetness, but in the joy, creativity, and connection it represents." With those words, the figure faded away, leaving Awar with a sense of peace and a renewed determination. She knew that her journey through Candytopia was far from over, and that each step forward was a step towards understanding the true sweetness of life. As the night deepened and the stars shone brightly above, Alara rose to her feet. With the wisdom of the concepts in her heart and the blessings of the twilight of Toffee guiding her way, she was ready to continue her adventure, to explore the uncharted realms of Candytopia, and to discuss possibility. Chapter 2. The Melodic Whispers of Sugar. As the first light of dawn painted the horizon in shades of peach and lavender, Alara set out from the twilight of Toffee, her path illuminated by the gentle glow of the sugar stars. The land gradually transformed, the Toffee terrains giving way to a lush landscape where streams of liquid caramel meandered through fields of soft, fondant flowers. The air was filled with the melodious sound of flowing caramel, a gentle, rhythmic gurgle that seemed to carry the secrets of Candytopia. As Alara followed the caramel creeks, she noticed that the streams converged at a clearing, while a large, crystalline pond of caramel lay still and sweet, its surface smooth. Surrounding the pond were the caramel sages, wise beings who had mastered the art of confectionery and were said to communicate with the very essence of Candytopia. They were graceful figures, draped in robes of spun sugar, their eyes reflecting the deep knowledge and understanding of the land. Ara approached them with reverence, feeling the weight of their presence. One of the sages, a figure with robes that shimmered like golden syrup, stepped forward. "Welcome, Amara, to the heart of the caramel creeks," he said, his voice as smooth as the caramel that flowed among them. "You have journeyed far, and the whispers of sugar have carried tales of your travels." The sage explained that the caramel creeks were not just waters of sweetness, but channels of communication, carrying messages and melodies throughout Candytopia. The caramel carries the wisdom of the land, the joys and sorrows, the hopes and dreams of all who dwell here. To listen to the caramel is to understand the heart of Candytopia. Intrigued and eager to learn, Alara asked how she might understand these melodic whispers. Sage smiled and gestured to the caramel pond. "Sit by the water, close your eyes, and open your heart," he instructed. "Let the melodies flow through you, and listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit." Elara did as she was told, her mind quieting as she focused on the gentle flow of the caramel. Slowly, the murmurs of the creek began to form melodies, sweet and harmonious, telling stories of the land's creation, the joy of its inhabitants, and the deep, resonant love it held. The experience was profound, the melodies living through her very being, connecting her to Candytopia in a way she had never imagined. When she finally opened her eyes, the world seemed different, more vibrant and alive, as if she was seeing it through new eyes. The caramel sage nodded in approval. "We have heard the conversations of caramel, Elara," he said. "Carry this knowledge with you, for it will guide you in times of joy and in times of challenge. The melodies of Candytopia are now a part of you, a symphony of sweetness that will resonate in your heart forever." With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit enriched by the wisdom of the caramel sages, Elara rose to continue her journey. The path ahead was now clear. The connection to be stronger, and her resolve to uncover the mysteries of this magical land more determined than ever. Energized by the wisdom of the caramel sages, Elara continued her journey, the melodies of the caramel creek still echoing in her heart. The path led her to a quaint village, nestled among hills of powdered sugar and fields of almond blossoms. This was Marzipania, home to the renowned marzipan craftsmen, artists known throughout Candytopia for their exquisite confectionery creations. As Elara entered the village, she was greeted by the sight of artisans at work, then skillfully molding marzipan into an array of stunning shapes and figures. The air was filled with the sweet, nutty aroma of almonds and the concentrated hush of meticulous craftsmanship. One craftsman, an elder with eyes twinkling with kindness and hands dusted with sugar, noticed God's awestruck gaze. "Welcome, traveler," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "You've come to Marzipania, where the almond meets the artist's hand, and marzipan becomes more than a treat. It becomes a tale." The craftsman, who introduced himself as Master Armando, offered to show Elara the secrets of their craft. In a workshop filled with marzipan of every hue or nation, as Master Armando transformed a simple piece of marzipan into a lifelike flower, each petal delicate and distinct. Marzipan crafting is not just about skill and precision, Master Armando explained. It's about pouring your heart into what you create. Each piece tells a story, carries an emotion, and connects with the one who beholds it. Elara, moved by the depth of the craft and the passion of the artisans, expressed her desire to learn. Master Armando, recognizing the genuine interest in Elara's eyes, agreed to teach her the basics of marzipan artistry. Under his guidance, Elara learned to mix, knead and color the marzipan. She discovered the patience required to mold intricate details and the gentle touch needed to breathe life into her creations. As her hands mucked the marzipan, she felt a connection to Candytopia growing deeper. her own story intertwining with the stories of those who had shaped this land. After hours of practice, arrived at her first post. A small marzipan bird, its wings poised as if about to take flight. Master Almondo examined her work, a smile spreading across his face. "You've done more than shape marzipan, Elara," he said proudly. "You've captured the essence of freedom, the spirit of adventure. This is not just a bird, it's a testament to your journey and your growth." As the day came to an end, the artisans of Marzipania gathered to see Elara's creation. They marveled at her talent and welcomed her as one of their own, celebrating her success with a feast of marzipan delicacies, each piece a masterpiece of flavor and artistry. Elara returned to bed at night with a heart full of joy and hands still sweet with the scent of almonds. She had not only gained a new skill, but her also experienced the profound joy of creating, of sharing a part of herself through her craft. And as she drifted into sleep, she knew that the mastery of the marzipan craftsman would stay with her, a sweet reminder of the beauty and connection that creativity could forge. Carrying the spirit of Marzipani in her heart, Elara ventured deeper into Candytopia. Her path led her to an ancient library, known as the Archives of Antique Recipes, a repository of culinary wisdom accumulated over countless generations. The building was grand and imposing, with walls made of gingerbread bricks and windows framed with sticks of cinnamon. As Elara entered the library, she was enveloped by an aroma of aged parchment and exotic spices. Rows upon rows of shelves stretched before her, each laden with books, scrolls, and manuscripts. The knowledge contained within these walls was vast and profound, a testament to the culinary heritage of Candytopia. An elderly librarian, with spectacles perched on the tip of his nose and a robe of woven vanilla bean, greeted her. "Welcome, seeker of sweetness," he said, his voice as soft as whipped cream. "I am Keeper Sugamo, the guardian of these archives. What wisdom do you seek within these hallowed walls?" Elara shared her journey with Keeper Sugam, while expressing her desire to understand the culinary secrets of Candytopia. Moved by an honest quest for knowledge, the keeper offered to guide her to the archives. Together, they delved into ancient recipes, each a relic of Candytopia's rich and diverse culture. Keeper Sugaleo led her to a special section of the library where the oldest and most precious recipes were kept. "These," he said, gesturing to the weathered scrolls, "were the recipes of Candytopia, the foundations upon which our land was built. They are more than just instructions for creating sweets. They are the essence of our history, our culture, and our identity." Elara carefully unrolled a scroll, her eyes tracing the elegant script. The recipe was for a confection known as the Heart of Harmony, a delicacy said to bring joy and unity to those who shared it. The ingredients were rare and the preparation complex, but the result was a masterpiece of culinary art. As she read, Elara felt a profound connection to the past, to the artisans and confectioners who had crafted these recipes with care and creativity. She realized that every treat she had savored in Candytopia was not just a fleeting delight, but a link in a chain of tradition and heritage. Keeper Sugardale watched her, a knowing smile on his face. The recipes of old carry the spirit of the Candytopia, he said. To learn them is to embrace the soul of our land. But remember, true mastery comes not just from following the recipes, but from making them your own, infusing them with your essence and your story. With gratitude in our heart and a newfound respect for the culinary arts of Candytopia. Hanged Keeper Sugul. She left the archives with a scroll of the Heart of Harmony tucked safely in her bag, a treasure to cherish and a challenge to undertake. As she stepped out of the library, the evening sun cast a golden glow over Candytopia. Oila knew that her journey was not just about it, but exploring new lands, but about weaving her own thread into the rich tapestry of this magical world. With the ancient recipes of Candytopia echoing in her mind, LLR continued her journey, drawn by an irresistible scent that led her to the heart of the dense, dark forest. The trees here were made of the richest dark chocolate, their branches heavy with cocoa pods, and the ground was a soft carpet of cocoa powder. The air was thick with the heady aroma of chocolate, a fragrance that was both comforting and intoxicating. In the center of the forest stood an ancient, grand tree, its trunk wide and its canopy spreading wide across the sky. This was the domain of the Chocolate Oracle, a being of profound wisdom and insight, sought by many, but found by few. As Olara approached the tree, a figure emerged from the shadows, milked in rows of flowing chocolate, with eyes that gleamed like molten gold. The Chocolate Oracle was a sight to behold. "Welcome, narrator, seeker of sweetness and truth," the Oracle greeted her, his voice deep and resonant. "You have journeyed far, and your heart is pure. What guidance do you seek in the shadows of the Cocoa Grove?" Olara bowed respectfully, feeling the gravity of the moment. "Eyed Oracle, I seek to understand the depths of Candytopia, to uncover its mysteries and embrace its wisdom. I wish to know how I may contribute to this land, to become a part of its legacy." The Chocolate Oracle regarded her silently for a moment, then gestured for her to follow. He led her to a clearing where a pool of liquid chocolate lay, still and dark, its surface a mirror to the night sky above. "Walk into the chocolate mirror, Ella," the Oracle instructed. "The reflections you see will reveal the truth you seek." Ella appeared into the pool, and the chocolate surface rippled and swirled, revealing images and visions that danced before her eyes. She saw the history of Candytopia unfold, from its creation by the confectionery gods, to the joy and delight it brought to all who visited. She saw the artisans, the craftsmen, and the creators, each contributing their unique flavor to the tapestry of this land. But amidst the sweetness, she also saw those challenges that Candytopia had faced and overcome, moments of bitterness that had tested the strength and the unity of its people. And in those moments she saw herself not just as a visitor but as a guardian, a protector of the joy and sweetness that defined this magical land. The visions faded, and the chocolate oracle spoke. Glory. Candytopia is not just a place, Alara, he said softly. It is a living, breathing entity, shaped by the hearts and hands of those who cherish it. You have seen the joy and the challenges, the light and the shadows. To be a part of Candytopia is to embrace both, to protect the sweetness and to face the bitterness with courage and compassion. With those words, the chocolate oracle vanished, leaving Alara alone in the clearing. She stood there for a long time, pondering the wisdom she had received. The encounter had changed her, deepened her connection, and it daunted determination to be more than just a visitor in this land of wonder and delight. As the first light of dawn filtered through the chocolate branches, beloved Roar set out once again. Her path clear and her heart resolved. She was not just Amara, the baker from Green Meadows. She was Alara, the guardian of Sweetie, ready to embrace her destiny in this sweet and enchanted land. Fortified by the wisdom of the chocolate oracle, Alara ventured towards the ancient part of Candytopia, known as the Cradle of Confection. It was said to be the birthplace of Candytopia, where the first confectioners had scattered the primordial sugar that crafted the essence of the land. The landscape here was different from anything Alara had seen before. The terrain was dotted with formations of crystallized sugar, shimmering in the sunlight like jewels. The air carried the scent of nostalgia, a mixture of warmth, sweetness, and a haze of mystery. In the center of the cradle of confection stood a monument of the first sugar, a colossal structure made entirely of the purest sugar crystals. It was here that the secrets of Candytopia's origins were said to be kept, guarded by the confectionery custodians, the descendants of the first confectioners. As Alara approached the monument, she was greeted by the custodians, beings of noble bearing with robes that glistened like spun sugar. They welcomed her with a solemnity that spoke of their sacred duty to protect and preserve the history of Candytopia. We are the keepers of the past, the guardians of the sweetness that gave birth to this land, said the head custodian, a figure of grace and authority. You seek the origins of Candytopia, and it is our honor to share with you the tale of our beginning. The custodians, me, Clara, to the base of the monument, where ancient inscriptions told the story of Candytopia's creation. She, the confectionery gods, beings of immense power and sweetness, who had mixed the first batch of sugar, spices, and everything nice to create a land of joy and delight. She learned of the challenges the first confectioners faced, the trials of flavor and texture, and the triumphs that had led to the creation of the diverse and wondrous landscapes she had seen. Each inscription, each symbol, was a piece of the puzzle that was Candytopia, a testament to the creativity, resilience, and passion of its people. The origins of Candytopia were not just in the past, the head custodian explained. They are alive in the land, in the hearts of its people, and in the stories that are crafted every day. Candytopia is not just a place, an ongoing tale of sweetness that you and Ella are now a part of. Lara felt a profound sense of awe and responsibility. The history of Candytopia was rich and deep, a tapestry woven from countless stories and experiences. She realized that her journey was more than an adventure. It was a pilgrimage, a journey to the heart of Candytopia and to the essence of her own spirit. The blessings of the confectionery custodians, a refinement of the first sugar, her mind filled with the knowledge of the past and her heart inspired by the possibilities of the future. She knew that her journey through Candytopia was not just a path through a land of sweetness. It was a journey to the core of joy and creativity, to the very origins of wonder and delight. With her spirit enriched by the profound history and heritage of Candytopia, a powerous journey led her to a valley where the land itself seemed to sing. This was Harmonia, the realm where the symphony of sweetness was orchestrated, a place where every breeze carried a melody and every stone hummed with harmony. It was alive with music. The trees swayed in rhythm, their leaves rustling like gentle percussion, while streams of honey and syrup flowed in melodious harmony. Flowers bloomed in syncopation, racing fragrances that filled the air with a symphony of scents. In the heart of Harmonia stood the conductor, a figure of elegance and grace with a baton made of licorice or a cloak that shimmered 1,000 colors. The conductor was the maestro of the symphony of sweetness, a composer of flatness, and melodies that blended into a masterpiece of sensory delight. Welcome, Dara, to the Valley of Harmonia. A conductor greeted her, his voice a melody in itself. Here, the essence of Candytopia is expressed not just in taste, in sight, and harmony. A symphony of sweetness is our tribute to the joy and creativity that permeates this land. Ilara was captivated by the beauty and intricacy of the symphony. She could feel the music resonating within her, a harmony that connected her to every corner of Candytopia. It was as if the land itself was speaking to her, sharing its joy, its beauty, and its life through the universal language of music. The conductor, seeing the wonder in Eli's eyes, offered her the opportunity to contribute to the symphony. Every soul in Candytopia carries a melody, he said. Share yours with us, Elara. Let your spirit and become a part of the symphony of sweetness. Or close her eyes, take a deep breath, and let her heart sing. Her melody was a blend of her journey, her experiences, and her dreams, a tune that was uniquely hers. It universally understood. As she sang, the valley responded, the music embracing her melody, weaving it into the symphony, creating a harmony that was more beautiful, more profound than ever before. The symphony of sweetness swelled to a crescendo, a celebration of life, joy, and the unbreakable bond between Ilara and Candytopia. It was a moment of perfect harmony, a testament to the power of unity and creativity, and a reminder that in the heart of every individual lies a melody waiting to be shared. As the last notes of the symphony faded, the conductor bowed to Ilara, a gesture of respect and gratitude. Your melody has enriched the symphony of sweetness. Hikarat, he said. It will resonate in the heart of Candytopia, forever a reminder of your journey, your spirit, and the sweetness that connects us all. with a heart full of music and a spirit uplifted by the harmony of harmonia. And Lara continued her journey through Candytopia, her path now a melody, her steps a rhythm, and her heart the song that would echo the valleys as if this land forever heard.